we take a look at a breakthrough discovery that could change our world forever. Through the years, scientists have been struggling to master an alternative energy source, as the depletion of petroleum seems very evident. Our team of science experts have created a short expose on hydropower, a system that relies on harnessing our most plentiful resource, water. Hydropower is a very effective and efficient resource. There are a few environmental implications, but other than that, it is mainly beneficial. Since water makes up about 70.9% of the Earth, there is an abundance of water, making it cheap and easy to use. Well, according to extrapolations predicted by world-renowned scientists, the numbers seem quite good. It is believed that by 2011, hydroelectric power will make up 19% of world electricity, almost 715,000 megawatts. However, in smaller scale situations, hydropower will not be as cheap as it won't cover its initial costs. This is the case in some countries, making it a difficult source for common use.
Hydropower uses generators to harness the kinetic energy of water in motion and convert it into electricity. Hydropower can actually be used in two methods. One, hydroelectricity, and two, marine energy. Alright, so hydroelectricity uses the motion of energy from flowing rivers or water falling from a dam. Marine energy, on the other hand, uses the motion of energy from waves in the ocean, and has a method which uses great temperature differences in water to harness heat, which in turn produces work. This method is called the ocean thermal energy conversion, or for short, OTEC. Alright, so basically in terms of hydroelectricity being used in the modern day world, a good example would be dams. Dams are basically structures that hold a high level of water, and basically the water runs down a tube called the penstock, which is really narrow, and so the water is practically falling. And as the water falls, it produces kinetic energy, which taps out of its potential energy. And basically, when the water is almost out, to the ground near the river, it hits a little spinning mechanism called the turbine. As the turbine blade propels, it activates the rotor, which is hooked up to a generator, and around the rotor is a coil of copper wire called the stator. As the rotor spins, the magnets of the stator turns into electricity, and electricity moves up through lines known as the transmission lines, which then goes to a powerhouse, which then broadcasts to the whole world. Worldwide, there are dams which provide energy. And basically, America has over 75,000 dams. If you look outside most of the windows in the school, you'll actually see a reservoir that's connected to a dam, just like the one I mentioned. OTEC, which stands for Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion, collects heat from water, which has been brought out by the solar radiation of the sun. It processes the differential temperature of the ocean's hot surface and the cold depths of it to produce electricity. Basically how it works is that a working fluid with a lowering boiling point, such as ammonia, is vaporized by the heat extracted from the warm surface, and right afterwards the heated working fluid is used to turn a turbine to produce electricity. After that's done, the cold deep sea water is used to condense the working fluid in the second heat exchanger prior to being recirculated to the first heat exchanger.
Right now, I am situated above the largest dam in the world. The Three Gorges Dam spans the Yangtze River in mainland China. It was completed in 2008 and is considered by many engineers to be one of the greatest human engineering feats of all time. It serves several key purposes. The first is to permanently stop flooding in the area, as thousands of Chinese have died in the past as a result of flooding from the Yangtze River. The second, and perhaps most influential key purpose, is its tremendous capacity to create hydropower. Its 32 massive turbines create an unparalleled 18,200 megawatts of power. To understand how vast this is enough power to power 10% of China, or nearly 200 million people. This means that in China, the Three Gorges Dam alone can power dozens of cities with millions of residents each, cutting down on dangerous dependence of fossil fuels such as coal and oil to produce electricity. The power generated from this colossus of a dam is best used nationally, as the location of the dam is seemingly far away from major Chinese cities, and the power produced must be transported for maximum effectiveness. The apparent environmental effects of the Three Gorges Dam are quite obvious. The valley in which the Three Gorges Dam is located was flooded in order to create the reservoir of water behind the concrete wall. However, the hydropower process itself does little damage to the environment. Unlike many other renewable power resources, hydropower does not hold many harmful side effects. However, one damaging effect from it is an increase in risk of landslides. Over time, these landslides erode rock of the valley that the Three Gorges is situated in. However, despite these landslides, it creates little waste and therefore little consequence to the natural environment encasing it. Well, sad to say, folks, but in today's market, it looks like you'll have to dish out anywhere from 8,000 Hong Kong dollars to 160,000 Hong Kong dollars if you want to purchase even a small hydropower generator. However, the Three Gorges Dam project alone cost 26 billion US dollars. One drastic social effect of hydropower, and the Three Gorges Dam illustrated this perfectly, is that oftentimes people must be moved from their homes, or what is known as being displaced, in order to create the space for this renewable resource. In the case of the Three Gorges Dam in China, 1.3 million people were displaced by their government to make way for the hydropower mega dam. This deeply dissatisfied many Chinese citizens, as it destroyed cultural sites such as temples and houses. However, China hopes that the benefits of the dam will inevitably outshine the costs. Hydropower is widely accepted in our day and age, as proved by the Three Gorges Dam, yet it is not seen frequently besides the occasional dam. Dams across the world, for the most part, utilize the capacity of hydropower to create enough renewable energy. The notion of hydropower is greatly admired as it has little environmental effects and is easy to facilitate. Back to Hong Kong International.
Once the water has gone through the turbine, it exits through the penstock and into an open stream, or river. The water, for the most part, is left unchanged and unharmed. However, with this said, the dams do take up a lot of space and can limit access to public areas, such as parks or forests. The high concentration of water from the dams can cause trees and plants to release carbon, causing them to lack nutrients from CO2, which in result causes them to wither and die. This causes the release of methane, which is a greenhouse gas. A fish's habitat depends on their environment staying the same. Since a high quantity of river water is supplied to dams, fish would lose the water level and speed they have grown used to. Dams can also block routes for migrating fish to travel. If fish can't migrate and reproduce, then their population will drop significantly, also affecting the rest of the animals in the food chain. We hope that our short documentary has given you a chance to see a little bit more about hydropower, a new and upcoming alternative resource that we hope in the future can help us step away from the depleting source of petroleum. Thank you for tuning in and watching.